Book 2 Episode 7. Morgan Trading Company. You look a little tired, Ryoma. Is everything okay? On the way back from the mines, Reinhardt said that to me. I was thinking of dropping by some people who would cooperate with the sales of your iron slime string and the waterproof fabric you designed, but I'm fine. I just used a little too much magic energy. I had used Create Block to turn a large amount of red dirt into bricks, so I was feeling a little close to running out of magic energy, but otherwise fine. It wasn't as though I had run out of energy, and this much exhaustion wouldn't impact my work. Around an hour after I was asked that, the carriage arrived in town, stopping before a certain merchant's store. There was nothing flashy about the store's appearance, but the store and its surroundings were constructed as large wooden buildings that gave an air of cleanliness. I figured it must be a high-class store for the Duke and his family to visit, but the store wasn't intimidating, in a good way. When we entered the store, we were immediately led to the large reception room at the back. The wall here was decorated with paintings, with decorative vases in the corner. It was a room with far much more expensive tastes than the exterior. I sat on the sofa as prompted, but it was so soft I sunk into it. It was a little more extravagant than the reception rooms I remembered from my past life, so I felt a little out of place. I should just stay quiet beside Sebas. I sat just meekly enough not to seem pathetic and waited until eventually, a well-built man appeared. He was probably the owner of this store. Oh my, the entire ducal family has come to visit together. Long time no see, Serge. It's good to see you again. You and your family treat me well on a daily basis, yet the chance to meet face to face is so rare. I'm glad to see everyone looks healthy too. I believe this person is a new face. My name is Serge Morgan, president of the Morgan Trading Company. Oh, he greeted me as well. I'm Ryoma Takebashi. Various circumstances have placed me under the care of the Jamil family. It's nice to meet you. I returned the greeting with a smile. I was told that I could trust him, but I wondered what kind of person he was. Now, to get straight to business. Did you bring something new again today? The two began their business discussions as I was thinking. Since he said, again, Reinhardt must bring products here fairly often. Before I show you the product, I'd like you to promise me something. You must not leak information about what you're about to see anywhere. I trust you, Serge, but just in case. Why, of course. Information about our business partners is the most valuable thing to us. If you don't want anything leaked, we will take all the extra precautions to make sure it remains secret. However, I must say it's not something I've heard you request before, Lord Reinhardt. There are some circumstances. But I'm certain the profits this time will be on another level. Was it really that amazing? I guess raincoats were everyday items in my previous life. My sense of the standard might be off. Sebas. At Reinhardt's command, Sebas took the waterproof fabric slime thread, an iron ingot I made out from his item box. This cloth has been processed in a particular way. May I pick it up? Of course. Serge expressed interest in the fabric as soon as he held it, inspecting the waterproof surface closely. It's nice to the touch. That's not all that's nice about it. That fabric can repel water without letting it soak to the other side. Really? You can look it up with appraisal, or actually wrap it around your hand and dip it in water. I brought that here as a sample. Then, if you don't mind me, Serge called a servant to prepare a bowl of water, then used appraisal while he was waiting. His eyes sparkled as he read the information, and as soon as the servant brought the water over, he wrapped his hand in it and stuck it into the water to test its repellency. Lord Reinhardt, this is a fabulous item, right? Don't you think this fabric would sell well as rain protection? It'll sell. This will most definitely sell. He was really into it. And that's not all. Next is this string. Allow me to see. This time he picked up the thread and inspected it, touching it and pulling it. Then he said one sentence. Could this possibly be processed with the same material as the fabric? He noticed. No one gave him any hint, yet he could tell just by touching it. Hearing Sergei's response made Reinhardt nod with a smile. I knew you'd see it, Serge. That's correct. The process is a little different, but the same material is being used. Well, doesn't it make a fine thread? Indeed, high-end tailors would swarm to purchase this. The beauty of the thread is a factor, but it's sturdy as well. This is clothing made from that fabric and thread. As he said that, he took out the work overalls and long boots I made. I already had my work outfit with me. Did he make new ones? When did he have the time? These are work clothes for use in wet and dirty places. The design is a little eccentric, but its functionality is superb. Indeed, I believe there will be laborers who would want this. If we can convey the benefits to the people, they could explode in popularity. You'd need something to trigger that explosion, but there's a high possibility there. And finally, there's this. Reinhardt moved the work overalls and long boots to the side to take out the iron ingot last. May I appraise it? Of course. Serge appraised it before turning to Reinhardt with a slightly disappointed slump in his shoulders. It's a fine item, but to be honest, it looks like your average iron ingot to me. Then take a look at this ingot instead. Sebas took out the other ingot of the highest iron purity and passed it to Serge. Is this aluminum? But this way it is. Allow me to inspect it. The moment he said that and used appraisal, his jaw dropped at the results. He tried to pull himself together, but he was sweating profusely in clear discomposure. Lord Reinhardt, this ingot is amazing, right? Don't you think riots would start if this was sold? Naturally so. This sheen that could be mistaken for silver. It would be clear to anyone that it is unlike any pre-existing item. Some would even try to pry into its production. And that's what the ingot from earlier is for. That one had been modified from an ingot like the one in your hands to make it similar to existing ingots. Serge nodded in understanding. I understand the circumstances, but that would make it nothing more than regular iron. It won't gather much attention. Will that be okay? That would be fine. We wish to sell this ingot lawfully but with secrecy. This ingot was sourced from the mines, but it isn't as though new veins were discovered. I see. So you wish to include that and keep its production a secret while selling the completed ingots, is that correct? Exactly. To be more precise, I'd like it to be exported to other kingdoms. Selling it within the kingdom would require stating its place of origin, but exports only need to state the kingdom, yes? Yes. That won't be an issue. That was all that was needed for an all clear. Really? Also, bringing the ingots here also serves to keep the creator's identity a secret. I'm asking this of you because I trust you, Serge. Thank you kindly. Now, as for the creator. These 3 items were all developed by the same person. Oh, that's not the point you should be surprised about. I was about to be introduced. These 3 wonderful items were all made by the same person? Reinhardt grinned at Sergei's response and said, that's right. The one who created these was Ryoma over here. The moment those words left Reinhardt's lips, Serge was stunned into looking between Reinhardt and I with wide eyes. What did you just say? Ryoma over here was the inventor of these items. It may be hard to believe, but it's the truth. Did you really make these things, Master Takebashi? Yes, I did. It's true. I'd like you to keep this a secret. But despite his young age, Ryoma is both an excellent researcher and alchemist. Sergey's expression seemed to look a little dubious the moment he heard the word alchemist. I guess alchemists were really untrustworthy. I understand your doubts, but he created this ingot before my very own eyes. He isn't a scammer. In front of Lord Reinhardt's very own eyes. Could I ask to witness the process as well? Oh, despite his suspicions, he was willing to confirm the truth before brushing me aside. Well, I was brought here by the Duke himself. I didn't have much magical energy left, but I'd have to do what I could. I've used a little too much magical energy today, so would something small suffice? In that case, my store has magic replenishing potions in stock, so feel free to use them. Since this is at my request, it's the least I can offer. Huh, really? I could have them? Then there shouldn't be an issue. Then, could I have 2 sheets of paper and a writing utensil along with the potion? I need them for the magic circle. Serge called his servant once again to retrieve the potion, pen and paper. Will this do? That's perfect. Thank you. I thanked him and drew 2 simple magic circles on the papers before taking 5 bricks of red dirt out of my item box. This is dirt from the mines, hardened by earth magic. It will act as the base material, so please check for yourself. Serge immediately used appraisal on it. Indeed, that is what it is. Now, please make sure you don't place any body parts into the magic circle while I work. It's very dangerous. I shall begin now. I passed magic energy through the circles and watched them light up, quickly making an iron ingot before handing it over. Please inspect it. Serge, whose eyes had been as round as plates the whole time I worked, accepted the ingot and appraised it. The next moment, he leapt up from the sofa. Please accept my deepest apologies. He bowed deeply with respectful elegance. No, not at all. Please raise your head, there's no need for this. I know people can be wary of alchemists, so your reaction was better than the average person already. Despite having the Jamil family support, I was still a child. Being apologized to so sincerely by someone above me just didn't feel right. If he had brushed me off or expressed his suspicions through negative words and actions, I would have been able to treat him like my previous boss in a business relationship. I'm grateful for your words. I didn't expect a true alchemist to be here. May I ask if you're actually an older age than you appear? And no way. How did he know? What are you talking about? I've heard that true alchemists can create elixirs of immortality and rejuvenation. I always believed they were lies to propel their scams, but if you're a real alchemist, then I can't not. Oh, so that's what he meant. Had me scared for a second there. I displayed my age on my status board. I cannot make any elixirs of life or eternal youth. There may be people who can, but it's impossible for me. The most I can do is gather the iron and dirt like this and turn it into ingots. I see. I apologize for my assumptions. That was when Reinhardt joined our conversation. Now that you believe Ryoma's a real alchemist, let's continue the discussion. As you can see, Ryoma is remarkably able and knowledgeable, and that allows him to make the ingots and waterproof fabric. However, if anyone finds out about his identity as an alchemist, he'd be lumped in with all the other scammers. Furthermore, even if he's recognized for his abilities, his young age will just be looked down upon. There'll be those who try to take advantage of that. That is where I'd like you to step in to buy Ryoma's products at a fair price, Serge. Without publicizing Ryoma as the seller, that is. Understood. That would be a piece of cake. Ryoma, Serge is a merchant you can trust. If you ever want to sell anything, bring it to this store. It'll be safe to do your shopping here too. I understand, thank you very much. I look forward to working with you, Mr. Serge. Same here. We will be waiting for Master Ryoma's visits. Also, Ryoma. You can use as much dirt from the mines as you wish. You can feed them to your slimes and make ingots for money. Are you sure? The profits for you would not be. It's an abandoned mine to begin with, so we never expected any profits anyway. And if you sell your ingots to Serge, we'll profit from the tax. Either way, it won't be a loss to us. The waterproof fabric is predicted to sell well too. You can drop any fabric you make at this store, or any other Morgan Trading Company branch store. Does that sound good, Serge? Yes, that won't be a problem. If Master Ryoma provides his address, I can also arrange for everything to be conducted under utmost secrecy from the closest branch store. While I was grateful for that, weren't they being a little too nice? After that, I told a surprised Serge about how I lived in a forest, and we decided that I could inform him of my residence after I decided whether I would return there. For the time being, I would use this store while in town. If I was to return to the forest, I could drop the waterproof fabrics off at the branch store in the Duke's hometown of Ganago. I didn't know how to thank them enough for their kindness. For now, I'd make as much string and ingots as possible while I was in town. If I spent 2 days crafting with the intent of emptying all my magical energy, I should be able to make a fair amount. Serge had given me a large number of magic replenishing potions as an apology for doubting me anyway. At any rate, I was glad to have a safe place to sell things. Plus, Serge said I was welcome to drop by for anything. I doubted he would treat me as a fraud. With everything wrapped up, Serge and his female servant saw us off and we returned to the inn.